Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Matthias Carter, and you have now tuned into the Carter Effect Podcast. So today's show is not sponsored by Hennessy Cognac, but this is what we drinking. And I have some of the dopest motherfuckers I know with me today on this podcast. I got my girl, Myia Simmons. Say what's up, Myia.
Hey, y'all.
Then I got my boy, man, Marcus Kincy.
My brother.
In the building. How y'all feeling?
My friend. Incredible.
That's what's
happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah, for sure. How you feeling, Myia?
I'm good.
You starting already?
You just have this goofy energy that transfers. Like, we'll sit here for 3 minutes and just be laughing, but I'm great.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So let's get into it. I know y'all probably seen this whole Meg the Stallion and Tory lanez. We have some new development.
Very unfortunate.
She pretty much confirmed that this nigga shot her.
Yeah.
So like, how y'all feel? Like,
look, if I can go first.
Go ahead.
Just to protect for the men that are below 5'8". If I could speak for the confident bunch and say we don't have little man complex, but that nigga Tory definitely do. He's bugging.
And that man is about 5'4".
Yeah, he's shorter than me, which is damn near impossible. That man is he's bugging.
Yeah, he tweak.
He's super
tweaking super hard.
So I'll take the side of the tall women, the giraffes or the stallion.
There you go.
The stallion. And I wish y'all would stop getting mad at us if we call ourselves the stallion. We know it's a male horse.
Gotcha.
The whole thing is her leg looks like a horse's leg. If you've ever looked at, like when you standing straight up, it looks like a horse's leg. But I feel like if she was, this sounds so petty, but if she was like 5'6" and very gentle, everybody would be so upset with him. But she's basically looked at as the big bitch. Like, you okay? Take care of yourself, girl.
Terrible.
Like, they look at her like Debo sometimes.
That's terrible.
That's why I feel like that's why people don't have as much pity for her. Like, you could have fought him. Look at you over him. Like, that height difference, they feel like you could have just swung on him.
And where in the world does that make sense? Like, that's so backwards. That's the thinking of it is terrible. So height should not matter. That doesn't matter. Like, come on, man. Like, that's a woman.
Yeah, facts. The whole situation is just like, although I do want to get his point of view because we only looking at it from her side.
Oh, well,
I do kind of.
Let me sum up his point of view. I had too much to drink, smoke, pop the pill, something, and I lost my cool, and I fired a couple shots at the ground trying to get her attention, and one of them accidentally hit her, and I'm a dumbass.
Yeah, trying to get her
pretty
attention.
much.
It can't be no, like, I don't see, this ain't no room for in between. She's already named him as the shooter. Right. You know, he hasn't said anything. He's been quiet, which is probably in his best interest at this time.
Yeah, just shut the fuck up. Take his phone, because he definitely be going live.
You feel me? Like, and it's so sad. I feel so bad for him because I was just, as an artist and just a consumer, I was just starting to get into Tory. Like, damn, this nigga talented as fuck. Like, he dope. And I'm an R&B nigga, so I'm on him. Like, every song super auto-tune and all this, but let me just listen to him.
Yeah.
And he just worked out like some type of deal too, like an independent deal or whatever.
It's sad, man.
Yeah, I was looking at it like, man, you got two black, male and female, like damn near, if not in the prime, damn near at the prime of their careers right now, and something crazy like this happens. Like, I want to know, like, how important is your social capital? Because like, who you surround yourself around, who you put yourself around is pretty much gonna dictate your future or whatever. Like, how y'all feel about like social capital?
I think for me, and this was probably like 15, I didn't really have much going on, just school, but I felt like you are a brand. I don't know what that meant at that time, but that was constantly what I heard. If it was our older Hispanic neighbor, every time she saw me, oh, Myita, your body is a temple. I'm like, I'm not having sex, Miss Fuentes. Like, geez. She's like, no, it's everything about your body. Like, you are precious. Yeah, I was.
That's so funny.
I was the tall, awkward girl. Wasn't nobody checking for me yet. Just a pretty little board. That was it. With nobody checking for me. But I always felt like you're a brand. So it was, overthinking everything, who I was friends with, who I was doing stuff with. And it wasn't a thing of not having a life, but it was a thing of knowing who you could actually live around, who you could be yourself around. And it's odd that they don't think about that. Like, in the industry, like who's off, who you don't really want to be with like that. And it's kind of like you said, they're in their prime. And you get caught up with stupid stuff like this. And the craziest thing is Kylie has the right people around her because she was with them and you ain't heard nothing else. We forget all about her in it. So she has the right people around her that'll let her do something. They know how to pull her out of it. We didn't forget we were mad at her for a week or two, but we forgot all about.
You forgot that she was even a part of the whole situation.
That's so sad.
They need PR like Kylie.
They do. I think I was going to say too, a lot of times, because I'm going through as an artist, I've contracted an outside company to help me run my brand, jumpstart my brand. And Black folks, we don't like to let people make decisions for us.
Absolutely not.
So I think that's another thing with the PR thing is like, I'm sure somebody was blowing their phone up and just saying, all right, y'all gonna hang out, make sure everybody's security is there, or make sure, just little things to try to avoid those situations. And another aspect is just speaking on some real shit. I don't give a fuck no more. I love my job and what I used to do, and I still do, but I kind of don't care anymore. Artists, famous people are fucking weird as friends. A lot of them.
Yeah.
You feel me? Once you're not saying what they want to hear, a lot of times they can just move you out of the picture and get a new friend.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound salty, but it's like people don't want to hear the right thing.
No.
They don't want to hear it. Like, you know what I mean? So that's another aspect. We got to allow ourselves as Black young entrepreneurs to succumb to some type of authority that might know more about certain things than we do.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's why you're saying like, okay, Kylie seemed like she was protected and followed the right information and said, okay, cool. Let me, you know what I mean? At least let me stay out of this as much as I can right now, or even while she was there, okay, shit's getting out of control. I'm going to step back or I'm going to ride in my own car.
Yeah. The mindset that she's in, I'm pretty sure her first thought when they started arguing was, let me call my mom.
Let me get out of here.
Let me call my publicist.
Right, because this might
let's get our story together now.
It ain't even big up in her. It's just the fact that we have to do better.
Yeah.
We have to do better.
Hey, now you made a point though. You were saying how like a lot of times as Black people we don't like to give control over to someone else.
And it's not even about control, but it's just about being smart, letting somebody who has more expertise in this area lead you.
Hey, now real talk. So I say like me, y'all know I cut hair or whatever. I don't think I'll be where I am today had I not went and just sat underneath somebody and was like, let me, because at the same time that I started cutting hair, I was really trying to become a better musician. Like, because I grew up in church and played the drums. I'm like, but the approach that I took to being a musician was like, I don't need these niggas. I can do this shit on my own. And I wasn't getting anywhere with the shit.
Yeah, because
so when I started cutting hair, so when I started cutting hair, I was like, I ain't gonna make that mistake again. Like, let me go find somebody that's better than me. And let me figure that out. And honestly, that pushed me even further.
That is a crazy point right there.
Nah, real shit. Like a lot of times, like I feel like again, I thought you were saying something.
Edit.
Go. Hey, nah, so I was just saying though, a lot of times like we don't like to get out of control, or we don't like to like be told like yo or be shown a better way. You know what I mean? Like we just like to do the shit on our own, and a lot of times that just don't fucking work. Like even with the whole Tory, from what I seen in the video, she said that they was arguing and she tried to walk away and it just really just escalated.
You can never hurt or do anything to a woman while she let that woman walk away, bro. She's saving you right now.
Yeah.
She is saving you.
Pretty much.
So she is saving you, bro. And you are gonna go against the grain because you cannot just kill your flesh for a second, G, and say, all right,
just chill out.
Let me just chill. Cause this is why do you have a gun? And
his security was there.
It's nothing wrong with protecting yourself. I'm finna get my carry concealed. Feel me? I got a daughter, so I'm on it. Why do you have a gun when you have security, G? Like, what could happen that's good?
Yeah. So and I wanna bring up this point too. Like, can like with social capital, like, and we all know like putting ourselves around the right people and shit like that, that's gonna push us. Like, yo, how important, or like, what is the, like, how do you get your name in certain conversations? Like, you as a musician, like, I've seen you go from, like we was talking earlier, playing for Dexter Walker. Right. Like, no knock to Dexter Walker. Like,
loved it.
Like, he do his thing, but like going from that to like now I'm playing with the Jonas Brothers. Like, how do you get your name in the room, or your name in certain conversations?
And I think it's exactly what you spoke to, which is like getting a mentor or somebody that you look up to, and saying, okay, cool, I have something to work towards, and if I follow these principles that I've seen work for someone else, you know, then I believe that'll give me a better, you know, starting place to say, okay, I can be successful like this person, or similar to this person. Like, I had a couple of mentors I looked up to. You know, I had Rex Hardy. He's the one who gave me my first shot on the road. I had Omar Edwards, Adam Blackstone. These are guys like that are from the East Coast, excluding Rex. He's from Chicago, homegrown, so dope. But but the other guys, it's like those are guys I had to learn about and research the history and see how they got where they were, and then just be around, attach myself to certain people that I know, okay, they're cool, they're in that circle. Maybe I'll see if I can take them to lunch and just pick their brain. Yeah. Like, what's wrong with that? You feel me? And then if that mentor sees that, then a lot of times that's an opportunity for them to give back anyway. So you feel me? If you're in the right mindset and approaching them in the right manner, then a lot of times they don't have a problem showing you exactly what they did, which in most instances is just chill. It's like, okay, I worked hard, I put in the work, and then I just, you know, got around someone else who showed me the ropes. Yeah, for sure. And then a lot of times what'll happen is, if you get in good with that person, you're gonna get in good with their mentor. Yeah. Which opens, that's how you start getting those levels.
Like, I seen myself get thrown oops that like I cut Kobe White, he played for Chicago Bulls. Facts. Whatever. I don't get that opportunity unless I'm connected with my man Sim. Facts. And from that relationship with Sim, like, I met Bobby Simmons. That's how, honestly, that's how the whole thing even happened. So like, big hub. That's a big hub. So I get that opportunity solely off of that. Like, one thing about you though, Myia, that like I talked to you yesterday, and I was saying, like, you know people that know people. Like, how do, the same thing. Like, how do you get to like knowing people? Because
listen, hold on. I'll be in some concerts. I look backstage. Myia is there. You feel
like
me?
Real shit. Myia is always like
low key. The Chris Brown concert. I was in catering the whole time. Like, hey, Marcus.
She in catering. Chris right there. She. Yeah. Oh yeah, Chris.
I seen when Ty Dolla $ign was up here.
That was the same concert.
You back? Yeah. You backstage. I'm looking at your Instagram. I'm like, nigga. Yeah. Like,
I think it's just the thing of being mindful that somebody is always watching you. Like, even when you think like it's time to turn off, somebody is always watching you. And I just had to find a really good balance in that. Being a church kid, it was always like, oh, don't cuss, don't do this, don't do that. To the point where I would walk in the room, like Zoe and Al, they would not, from Fashion Geek, they would not let people cuss around me. Like, I would walk in there, so he'd be like, hold on, church girl here, y'all can't be doing all of that. I'm like,
that's funny.
Please don't do that. He's like, no. Put your lick up. Like, please don't do that. So it's a whole thing of creating your image, and then just always working, always being willing to help. I prayed that God connect me to the right people. And when you look back on it like 10 years later, it's kind of like, oh, that's how I get it. So like, the first thing, I would just work like a normal job, nothing super amazing. I work for the government. I don't have a cool day job like that, but it's the other jobs that lead to all this stuff. But I was working a prayer meeting and met Juan. Hey, Juan Teague. And at the time, different last name. But
2 or 3 gathered.
Yeah, it didn't take that much, but she always is. We were doing a prayer meeting, and we were at her hotel. She was at Hotel Saks, which was House of Blues Hotel.
Oh, yeah, it's not even Hotel Saks anymore.
What is it still there?
It's Hotel Chicago.
Oh, excuse me, Hotel Chicago.
It's only because it's next door to the House of Blues.
Right. So she had been there like from the beginning, and we were doing a prayer meeting. And then maybe like 2 weeks later, I ran into her at the gym, and she was like, "Oh, I remember you. How's everything going?" I'm like, "I'm good." But at the time, I wasn't working full time. Right. I was just coasting. I was getting like a little stipend from church, helping with the youth, and just like, God, I need a full-time job.
Getting that white envelope?
Yes. Going back there, I'm not going
to the office.
I get to the office.
Let me know when y'all ready.
Oh, they not ready yet. I come back after service. That was me like, all right, God, what else do you have?
That's probably where we met, huh?
We did. Yeah. I met Marcus at church. Marcus, when I was over the youth, like all the performing arts, Marcus used to come and play. Yeah. He was never there for a rehearsal, but they knew he was just that good. Like, tell him what songs y'all gonna sing. He didn't have no time for no rehearsal.
This is Rick's fault.
Tell him what songs y'all gonna sing, you, Rick. And he can play. He'll be there. And Marcus would come, he would play, and he would go. Or sometimes he had to go fill in the main sanctuary, or he was going to another church. Yes. But that's how I met Marcus. But Juan and I saw each other in the gym, and she was like, "Oh, well, what are you doing?" And of course, she don't want to tell nobody I ain't working. I was like, "Oh, working on a few projects." She's like, "Oh, because I kind of need somebody to help me. I have a gala coming up." I'm like, "Oh, I can move some stuff around."
You let me know.
Yeah, like just let me know what your schedule's like. Right. And it was Common from Chicago, the rapper. It was his first gala. Wow. So it was like Dr. Myia Angelou. Like,
damn, big stuff.
I didn't care about no other celebrity that day. They was every time I heard Myia, I'm like, me or the doctor, me or the doctor.
Just let me know.
Like, let me know. You need me or are you calling her? Because should I bow down or am I walking over the way y'all calling me?
I never knew that. That's dope.
Either way, I'm involved and honored.
But that's how we met. And that was probably like 10 years ago. And it's just kind of been working in those circles. We started with different foundations. So it was from Common Ground Foundation to Dwayne Wade and Wade's World. We would do their whole weekend for the kids. And then you meet all these people through there. Wow. The guy that's on the show right now, Jacob
Lattimore.
Mm-hmm. He was in one of our first talent shows.
Wow.
Damn.
So if you make those connections, you keep those connections, like it might not be through him, but his mom might remember work that we've done. It's just never assume that it's just one top person. And I learned that like my boss at the time, Juan, she would show up with like a dirty sweatshirt on and jogging pants, and I'd be dressed up for like a go-see at the Sheridan or something, and they wouldn't talk to her. And the lady would be like, "Oh, yes, and this is our room for the such and such gala." I'm like, "Okay." And I can show you. And Juan's trying to get a word, and she's like,
Yeah, I'm talking to Myia.
Yeah, we're talking. And then she's like, "So what are you going to decide?" And I was like, the person who's writing the checks, you never know.
That's
and
crazy.
I feel like that's how you make those connections. You make those bonds. With Marcus coming to church, it was always a, "Hey, Marcus, how you doing? Good to see you." If he was in town, he might stop by the church just speaking. So when you see those people in other places, you maintain those connections. It can be a simple, "Hey, this is my girl Myia. She do every damn thing," because nobody knows exactly what I do. It's just like,
I was
Myia
gonna say that.
everywhere.
Like, I'm learning something new today because I met you through the Heineken event that you did.
See.
So that's what I'm saying. But see, that's a vibe though. Okay, she does events. She coordinates things. She's plugged in the mix. So every time you see her, let me introduce you to my friend who might not know you. And then that's another connection and relationship. Then you got IG and all of these social platforms where you. So
how do you maintain these relationships though? Because I've seen people like fuck up relationships with people just due to like just either it was bad like communication or just whatever it is. How do you because both of y'all like are in situations, if you didn't have the relationships with the people you have, you wouldn't be where you are or whatever. How do you maintain these relationships?
Remembering to say thank you. And it ain't even like you got to call that person 50 times and all of this. Depending on what it is, sometimes you send flowers, you send a fruit basket, you send a text, you check in when you don't just need something. That's the most aggravating thing to me. And I know you probably get it even worse.
Facts.
If people know his tour schedule, I'm sure, a week or two ahead of time, it's, hey, bro, been thinking about you. No, you ain't.
Yeah,
you know he coming to town.
You don't even fuck with me like that.
You know me in LA for 6 weeks and you need me to do something for you.
Exactly. Hey, bro, just thinking about you.
No, you're not.
Trying to get my girl some tickets.
Now you see my location and you know I'm in Burbank and now you want me to come to the studio.
But if that person, it's remembering who the person is outside of their profession.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus has an adorable little girl.
Right.
Hey, Marcus, how you doing? Then it was, how's your baby girl? Then she just turned 1. We don't use social media the right way.
Right.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be for, like, I follow people that are inspiring to me. It's not that I want to know such and such baby daddy business. Like, I could care less, but it's those people that you want to meet, the people that you have met and you still want to connect. And especially during this time, like in COVID, you can't necessarily meet up everywhere with everybody, but you could send a DM. When people would react to stories, I respond, hey, how you doing during COVID? How's your family doing? Or sometimes for some people, it's making a list and just going through it monthly. Let me hit 5 people off the list and I'm going to just check on them and say, what's up? Because they did ... for me 5 years ago. 6 years ago. And people be so touched when you remember like small things, because in his industry and events, you don't always get that. It's not until they at the front door and it's, oh man, what's up? Like, I do not want to talk to you today. Like, no.
Get the fuck out of here.
Basically. Talking about security.
Security.
You gotta hit through the teeth.
She's crazy.
Hey, Marcus, so how have you been able to maintain these relationships with, the people that you know?
I think, the beautiful thing about music and touring, and I think it's just like, for me, obviously, I went to college maybe a semester. And then
me too.
You feel me? Then my first call came, so I called my counselor. Listen, right away. I left the dorm. I left everything. Don't worry about it. I'll come back and get it later. I gotta go. But for me, like, just maintaining those relationships is based off of like you said, your character as a person. Like, you see people got kids, or you see people are interested in other things and have other things going on. Don't just call them when you need something. You feel me? It's okay to send an email and just say, yo, I'm thinking about you. I heard your song. It came on my shuffle, or I saw your post. It is really dope. Or retweeting, or like, reposting somebody's stuff without them asking you to do it. Yeah. There are ways to keep those relationships in a great place. And a lot of my friends, because I tour, sometimes I don't see them for 2 years, especially now we're not doing anything. So guess what? I haven't seen a lot of my friends and since the world was open. Yeah. You feel me? Like, so to Instagram and all of these other avenues, Twitter, Twitch, whatever you're using, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever you're using, it's always a good avenue to send somebody some love or repost or retweet. And that's how you can also just keep those relationships going without calling or emailing. Like, oh, let me just repost his post today because I like it. Yeah. Or it spoke to me.
One thing I don't like though, like, and I see a lot of guys do, a lot of people do it, is they stage the appreciation. Right. Like on Instagram, like it's a whole thing. It's like they making this a big thing to like show love to people.
And that's why I just said, if it speaks to me.
Yeah.
Let it be organic, because people can always tell the real from the fake.
I feel like that appreciation sometimes might be a little bit of clout chasing too.
Facts.
Yes. Like they be thirsty to say that they're connected to Marcus. This is my brother. This been my brother since way back.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my goodness.
Has it really
where you been at? I just put out a project. You ain't said that.
Okay.
Oh,
I think sometimes it's got that on it, and you can tell like, nah, that's not genuine.
Yeah,
like I feel uncomfortable with that sometimes. Like, I ain't done shit for you to be saying you appreciate something. Facts. Like, please don't.
Facts. Like for me, like some guys, like I know, like I've seen, like, yo, we came up together, even though we not doing the same shit. Right. Like I just shoot them a text, like, yo, bro, you going crazy, keep going. I'm not gonna take to social media unless I really fuck with you. Right. Like some things, like I'll take to social media and be like, yo, follow my man.
Or that can really help. And
but like most of the times, like my love and my appreciation be a text. Like, yo, bro, I appreciate the, you know what I mean?
It's because you and also it's got to do with the type of relationship you have with that person.
Yeah.
So cool. If I know we talk a lot on IG, then I don't have a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I know that we just real friends, and sometimes that text is going to hit harder than a repost, because a repost, I can see that on, that's cool, but I might not even be on Instagram today.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Yeah.
But if you text my phone, then it's like, okay, cool. I can at least hit you back and say, hey, bro, yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm chilling today.
Facts. Hey, so what are some opportunities you guys feel like you missed out on? Like, whether it was due to like self or whatever, like what's some opportunities you feel like, yo,
ladies first on this one?
I may have missed out on opportunities, but I don't feel like there's a regret for any of it. Yeah. Like, ultimately, however God has planned out my life, I feel like it's still gonna go well, but I can't think of like, oh, I do know. I do. It's not even business, but it's so petty.
Yeah, I feel you.
Nas, we are meant to be together. My friends had tickets to the last show that he was here.
I was there.
And me being so used to backstage and all that, I was like, oh, they probably not gonna have like really good seats. And I don't think I want to go. Like,
damn.
And then it was, well, you got to get dressed in like, I'm like, no, like,
no.
I want to plan it out. Like, this is how I'm supposed to meet him. They ended up getting really good seats.
Damn.
And then what happened after that?
They met him.
Of course.
Then they took a picture. I ain't never been.
Dare I say that wouldn't have happened if you would have went?
Yeah. I know it wouldn't. I would have sitting there like this. I'm ready to go.
That's hilarious.
They would have had y'all in the 300 section.
It sounds like his music, but I don't know.
Look at that little dot down there.
That's a fine dot. I think it's nice.
That's fucking hilarious.
I can't work opportunities. It's just sometimes it's a blessing, like my normal day-to-day job, but sometimes it's so structured that I miss, like, if it's traveling, like I'm begging them, like, please, I'm gonna have enough vacation time by the time it's time for me to go, or I can make it up. Like, sometimes I regret committing to a real job as opposed to, I don't have the hustling spirit that the musicians might have or some of my other entrepreneur friends have. It's stability for me, and then you can go out and do other things and get multiple streams. So that's probably like my biggest regret. Even now, I'm tired of seeing all y'all riding y'all bikes every day, going to the gym in the morning.
Niggas bike clubbing hard.
They going so crazy. I feel like a little kid watching through the window.
What do you want punishment talk about? That look nice.
Hey, I made an attempt to try to go, and like I tried to look for a bike. Like I went to Walmart, no bikes. Like everywhere.
And you gotta come to the farmers. And they're definitely gonna tax you because
they tax
Walmart, Target, all that. Ain't no bikes.
Yeah. And then it's the bike shop that I seen, and shit was like fucking, they
was just like offer up.
Yeah, I ain't want to pay that money right now.
Or Facebook Marketplace.
Yo, if you ain't catching
get on that.
Yeah. Hey, so what's some opportunities you feel like you missed?
I had a couple gigs that
I'm sure he got some good ones.
I know you got some good.
I had a couple gigs, man. You know, since we are in this free space of being just black and proud and I mean, you know, I love the road. Yeah. I spent a lot of time there, but I'm ready for something else. That don't mean I trash the road, because I would never do that. But I had a couple opportunities. I won't say who it was between, but somebody called me to play with Rihanna in 2016, which is just Rihanna. So you just don't pass that up.
Oh, I thought you was saying,
I thought you was saying Rihanna. Yeah. I'm like,
damn. No. I passed it up. I never played with Rihanna.
Why?
Because I chose something else.
That was a bit longer?
Yeah.
That's always the tricky thing with them. It could be like
let me speak his truth. Let me speak. Go ahead.
No, you got it. Though it was a longer relationship, and it was a more personal relationship with the artist who could put me in different places. You know what I mean? And introduce me to different things. and that's what I chose. Though. Yeah, exactly. And I felt it afterwards, but matter of fact, I think around that same time, that was when I'm probably giving it away, but the artist I was messing with, he took me to Vegas for my birthday on a PJ. Like, this was like 27, 28, I think I was turning.
PJ means private jet.
Private jet, yeah. Slight shit,
I had the legit Target dog from the ad in my hands. Like, this is so random, but like the Target dog from the ad was in my arms in the PJ, just chilling. Like, I was having a glass of Moet. It was crazy. And then I got straight to Vegas and gambling. It was crazy. I had a great time. But Rihanna, and also my guys on the Rihanna thing. My guys, my family. My touring family. To be with those guys would have been amazing as well. But I enjoyed the decision that I made. I enjoyed the positives and the negatives that came with it. I just rolled with it, and I'm proud of that decision today. But it still hurt. You feel me? It's like, we ain't gonna get into the relationships now. Like, shut up. But it's stuff that I wish I could have done over. You know what I mean? And even going back to the Tory and Meg thing, it's like, man, Joe, like, black men aren't conditioned to know how to treat black women. I'm just slipping into some other stuff right now, but we're not conditioned the way. Even growing up in Chicago, like, we're not. You feel me? We grow up a certain way, and it's really nobody's. It's not our fault until you gain consciousness, and then okay, cool. I need to learn. So of course, I got a couple regrets in that sense. Not regrets, but I got a couple of
facts.
I wish I could have done that over. I'm not regrets, because I like you said, I believe God has me in a place that's so purposeful. You feel me? And that where I am right now, I'm gonna grow and still be who He wants me to be. But 21 through. You feel me?
You got some relationship regrets?
Not regrets.
We're not saying regrets. Not regrets, but like.
Relationship, like dating, or just overall?
Just overall.
I've had some years where I kind of showed my ass, and I knew better. And then like high school, I wish I could take some moments back in high school. I was the class clown. So like lunchtime, I am standing on the table. Yes. Talk about who got $1. You want me to sing? And there was an intercom in the lunchroom, and there was a freshman girl. And I got up and sang, "My braids are falling," because all her little braids was just dangling.
You roasted her in the lunchroom?
On the intercom.
Through sermonic solo? You wild.
And I could sing, so it was even worse. Everybody's like, okay. I'm like, oh, man.
Hey, whole time, I don't know if you remember, it was a drunk night. Like, you was roasting, I don't know who it was. When I say you had me, because I ain't never seen that. Hey, I love you, Cleo, but damn, you had me in tears. I'm like, yo, Myia got chops.
I don't do this to you, Cleo. But did he have on the long church shoes? Okay, I love you.
He was at the barbershop. He had on gym shoes.
Okay, then we gonna leave him alone. I love you, Cleo.
Yo. I just remember we were like in the floor.
Yeah, in the floor. That shit had me dead.
Let them have it.
Let that nigga have it. All right, so like, what's because I feel like.
Thank you so much. Amen.
As often as you do.
Come on.
Do it in remembrance.
Come on.
Hey, now, so I feel like with growing, like, and establishing relationships with people, I feel like you oftentimes have to have tough conversations with people. Like you got a show coming up, which we're gonna get into that a little bit later. But like, you being a musician, like, I know you've probably had to check niggas like, yo, what the fuck is you doing? Like, that shit weak. Like, how do you have those tough conversations with the homies, but at the same time, like, yo, I know what level this should be at.
Right.
Like, I cut hair and like, I stand on my fucking craft. Like, nigga, I'm raw with this shit. So when I see niggas bullshitting, it's like, come on, bro. Or if I see niggas like, yo, like you capping or you trying to finesse it. Like, nah, yo, you don't even got the basis to this shit. You know what I mean? Like, how do you have those tough conversations with motherfuckers?
Well, it's all about approach. You know what I mean? It's all about approach. Like, and that's why you don't hire guys, or you don't put yourself around people, surround yourself around people who don't take what they do serious, because then that creates the room to be like, all right, this guy's not on his shit. He doesn't care about this for real. Like, it's no way he cares about this. No way he's passionate about this. So, most of the time, I believe even just us three, we surround ourselves with winners. We surround ourselves with people who challenge us, and want us to be better. You know what I mean? We want them to be better, and we challenge them and put them to the test as well as friends. We reciprocate that, so we can make sure that, we're, at standard or being where we need to be. But nah, man, it's about the approach. Like I said, I don't have guys around me that aren't at a certain level of understanding of music, so I don't have to scream and holler at nobody. You feel me? At that point, it's like, all right, did you listen to it? All right, you didn't listen to it. All right, let's give him. We're gonna take a 30-minute break. We're gonna let him listen to it. We're gonna get some lunch for those who did listen to it. We're gonna take a smoke break. We're gonna go have a drink. You feel me? That's kind of my approach, because that's what I kind of been taught. Like, through Omar, Rex, and even Adam. You know what I mean? These guys are so incredible at leading. I've never seen like a big blow up, you know what I mean? Just because of the caliber of guys they keep around, first of all, and just the way their leadership is presented. It's never aggressive unless it really has to be. And like I said, keeping those guys around you that are like-minded, that keeps you from having to veer into that territory. You feel me? I've never been hollered at by Rex or Omar or Adam, and these guys are like, you feel me? I keep saying their names in that cycle, because these guys are like, these are my mentors. These guys I've seen talk to Rihanna, Mary, Nicki Minaj, people that are not easy to get on the same page with all the time. No knock on the artist, but it's like, it's tough. That's tough business what they're doing. So I understand the communication needs to be direct and quick. You know what I mean? And I don't have time to babysit you. That's what the next level is about. Accountability for yourself. All right, saying, all right, cool, I'm a professional. I know what this is supposed to sound like. I know what it smell like. I know what it look like. So I know how to fake it, even if I don't fake it. You feel me? If I don't know it. You feel me? So that's what it's about, having, you surrounding yourself with like-minded people. You don't have to holler and beg and pump and prime. It's like, okay, cool. This is the level we're on, and this is the level we're going to stay at. So like I said, that 30-minute break, or just little things like that you don't have to holler and say, take your time, listen to the music, or take your time and get prepared, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be music, but take your time and get prepared, and then come back and join us. And I guess that's another key thing about it, is the preparation and how serious you take it.
Nah, facts. What you got, Myia?
What was the question?
I know. He made a very good point. I'm sorry. He made a very good point. Like, we both crazy.
No.
Jesus help me.
Tough talk.
Yeah.
So I had one time when I was first starting out, like in event production, and I got cussed out in an email. Like, you fucked this up.
That's when they really mad. They wait till they got to the house.
I'm like, why couldn't she tell me this in my face? Like, I'm reading it and crying, and I just knew. I just knew, like, don't even show up tomorrow. Like, you done, baby girl. Just sleep in. I knew it. Like, this is it. And I showed up, checked in, got my little assignment for the day. I'm like, I'm still here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I had messed up something else, and I asked her, like, can you just fire me? Like, it's okay if you want to do that. She's like, nope, you're going to get this shit right. I believe in you. I'm like, you believe? Like, what? But if people don't have those tough talks, they really don't care.
And instead of that tough talk, if she didn't see what she saw in you, she would have just fired.
Yeah, like, girl, go home. Bye. And I've seen it happen like that before. Like, first day out, we didn't have volunteers or interns, and they trying to screw everybody in the back. So bye. Just bye-bye. Not even a talk. Not let's work through this. Like, bye. So it was a thing to, like, I keep effing up though. She like, nope, you gonna get it right. Like, those, you can tell when people take the time out to have those talks, that obviously, like you said, they see something, they care about you. And I feel like I didn't start working until I was 21, like no jobs, no summer jobs or nothing. And I feel like in that time span of however old I am now, I've had plenty of jobs that don't necessarily like fit together so much, but I used to work with youth. I had all high school students, so like 48 kids in the after school program. Your brother worked at one, yeah.
Oh yeah.
By the hand.
By the hand.
But most of my students.
One help for nobody. Every time that hand came out, they fixed it. Gotcha. I gotta be quicker than that.
But I had 48 high school students, and a lot of them had IEPs. So they're like different learning disorders and all of this. And it was really figuring out how to talk to them where they are. And I think in Black families, we used to get yelled at and you just straighten up. Yep. Your mama could easily say, these kids ain't shit. Yeah. And then fix your favorite meal right behind it. Like, what? Yeah. Like, do you love us or not?
I love you, baby.
Yes. Come on, it's all right.
Don't listen to what I say. Look at what I do.
Exactly. Huh? Like, what? So just figuring out like how to meet people where they are, how to scold them, but then still let them know like you appreciate the things that they do actually do. And that's even transferred over into friendships, relationships, romantic relationships, words of affirmation. It is okay to tell somebody, I'm tired of your ass, but you treat me so good at ... and this and that, but I'm tired of this. Right. And I think we feel awkward with that. It's almost weird to do praise and point out the bad stuff all at once. But in your craft, you're amazing at what you do. It's kind of weird for somebody to just be like, you suck, you did this, you did that, without saying, but you killed them keys, boy. Facts. You did this, you did that. Yeah,
for sure. Like I also want to like know, how do you cross over to different different arenas? Like you growing up in church, we all know what that's like. You know what I mean? But like crossing over, like honestly, it wasn't until I was like 18, and at the time, like I was in church like religiously, like every damn every day. Like I'm somewhere doing something.
Every time the church doors are open.
Yeah. I'm pretty much there. Then it didn't make it no better. My father was a pastor, so like it was like I'm always doing something with church, and it wasn't until like I don't know like when, like what time it was, but I was like, man, the world is so much bigger than the four walls of this church. And honestly, I was irritated with the motherfuckers in there. And I'm like, yo, y'all bugging. Like, yo, this shit.
Mickey Jones, I'm tired of here.
Tired of this church.
I'm tired of this church. And honestly, it wasn't until it was like, I was like, it gotta be something more to this. Like, so how do you cross over into different, like I said, you're going from playing for local church artists and choirs and groups to now you on stage with Nicki Minaj, Mary J. Blige, and like, how do you cross over into these different arenas?
You want to go?
Either one.
Okay, I'll go. I think it's us seeing different, and that's even in like black communities. The kids that I would work with, they don't know too many jobs outside of I'm gonna work for somebody else. I'm gonna get a security job. I might be able to do ... and I'll be lucky to get you only making big money if you're doing sports or if you rap. So I got all these kids that can't rap for shit, steady writing these little rhymes like maybe that's not for you. Right. But not knowing anything else. And it's not even always the thing of you have to go to school to learn this. Like I'm almost anti-college, not completely, because I can understand if you want to be a doctor, you can go, but it's so many things.
I'll be telling you, I ain't paying for no
so many things you can learn.
Man,
he plays an instrument, and he didn't have to go to school to learn that. Facts. All my kids, if and when they come, not no time soon, God, but they will learn to play instruments. Like
she no time soon.
No, strap up. No, I'm kidding. I'm a pastor. But we have to see different, and being in church, we were very sheltered, in my opinion. I know we were.
Yeah, you got tunnel vision.
Yeah.
You only see the world church. One way.
You could be a deacon, and even in a junior church, that's what you could be a junior nurse. You could be a junior
and
deacon.
They have you feeling like your name is like Irma or something at 15.
Yes.
It's like, come on, John.
You walking
There's got to be another way.
Renee, stop.
Yeah.
You are not 50. You're a young adult. And everything we did was at church.
Hey, I know. Like, shout out to my man's Mark. I doubt if you gonna ever watch this shit, but like, yo, if you seen this nigga, you would think he was like in his 40s. Like, he acts so old. Yeah. Everything he do is doctor and all. Like, nigga, we the same age. And I ain't gonna lie, folks, he could hoop though.
Like, grow down, not grow up.
He could hoop, but like, it was just like, grow down, nigga, down. Like, like honestly, like in church, like you get like this tunnel vision, and just not church, but like, and like how you come up, how you brought. If you don't see anything outside, like it's niggas on the south side who's never been out west, or downtown. You know what I mean, motherfuckers like.
Not no more. They ask me downtown.
Oh, now, yeah.
Nah, I mean,
shit's
that's
different.
What Luton's happening.
Yeah, shit's different now. Shit's different, but like, yeah, like how you feel about it, bro?
Nah, yeah, I feel like the same. How you saying? People don't. You have to go out and see other things to be engaged and have that curiosity to search out other avenues of life. Like you said. All we knew is church. Like all I knew is church. Like my first morning. On my first tour, while I was rehearsing out of town, I think I left probably on a Saturday, and the next morning was a Sunday. And so I woke up in LA. I was in LA. It was my first time in LA ever. And I woke up. It was Sunday. I gotta go. I put my clothes on. I'm ready to get out the door because I've never ever missed a Sunday of church.
Yeah.
In Chicago.
It don't matter what you doing the night before.
No.
Dog, you gonna get your ass up for church. Don't be making a check neither. Listen, come on. I done 5-hour fellowship too many times. I love you, Jink. That's my guy. But I have 5-hour energy that a lot of bro, because I'm not gonna miss church. Especially I don't know how to miss a check.
Nah, facts.
I don't know how to miss. So,
facts.
Bro, listen, but getting outside of that, like my first trip overseas, like, actually seeing Europe, like, I'm like, damn, I could live here. Yeah. You don't know that until you go. Going to what's that, my favorite place in Spain? It'll come to me later. New beaches. Never been to a new beach. Like, you feel me? Like, I know it's very far spectrum from church, but it's like this is how these people live, and unless you see that, you don't normalize it. You feel me? You don't know that there's people that live like that. So that when I saw that, it renewed my mind to say, oh, I can't say that they're naked because this is how they do stuff over here. I'm a foreigner. So I'm learning about their culture. So. Just being traveling, man, I can't wait till the world open back up. Trump he got us in some bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, girl.
But like I see it. I say this too. Like I've noticed, like even like being a barber and being in a barbering industry, like how that translates into the fashion industry. You know what I mean? And
right over.
From the fashion industry, you get into music, art. You get into media. Like my man's Ron, he didn't he ain't even told me a lot of shit. I'm just watching like how he set up everything. Like, yo, this is a whole different lane, a whole different income that people don't even like. I didn't even consider like what it takes or what it goes into like actually like growing up in church. You know music, but like
somebody got to hold that camera.
Yeah, somebody got to hold that camera. Somebody got to do the production. Somebody got to mix this shit. Exactly. You know what I mean? Because if it ain't mixed right, then it's bullshit. Like one thing I would say, like. Yeah, I've seen a lot of churches get into the media, and a lot of these motherfuckers doing it right, and a lot of them fucking up as well. Yeah. Like a lot of that shit don't sound right. Y'all need to just get off Facebook Live and
you feel me. Go ahead, hire you a media guy.
A real one.
Facts. So hey yo, I'm getting that signal. Yeah, for sure. Hire my nigga Ron. Yo,
big facts.
I'm getting that signal. It's time to wrap it up.
He came through with the you dig. I said, oh no, he know what he doing.
Oh yeah, facts. My man's got it right though. But
we can't go another hour.
Okay, we could, but
I'm sorry. Listen.
Hey, but look, so this is right before we get into a mention. Like I'm starting to ask all my guests, like, what's some advice you've gotten that either help you get to the next level or that got you out of like a stagnant state? Like, sometimes you can just you get in the cycle of procrastination or something. Like, what's some advice that you've gotten that like pushed you or got you to the next level or whatever?
I think it's good to know who you are and not even like I'm such and such daughter, or I'm this or I'm that, but like really know who you are in event production or in that industry that Marcus is in. So many times you see people that don't have strong personalities or don't have a sense of self, and they're wavering. So you just out here being goofy, doing whatever, aka Tory Lanez. Just doing whatever to prove a point. Like if you didn't have an issue with being short, if you were confident in who you were,
short, then the hairline thing too.
Ooh, just, baby, finally got it.
Yeah, I don't have any experience with that. That probably could talk you over the top.
But that probably like all those things for him. If you know who you are, like you're confident in that. I'm okay. I hate when people say it, but I'm okay being known as the church girl. It's just annoying when people put you in that box, but it's okay because I know what I am aside from that. Everything else that I am.
Yeah, most of them people is like, you don't really even know church. I'm the church that you can identify.
That's all you know.
That's it. Yeah.
Talking about, you don't know, I done been out here living, but okay, I'm not Sister Myia. But all right,
Sister Myia.
Yes. It's like, I'm the only Christian you know. Like, geez, deaconess, prophetess. Hey, prophetess. That's and then hilarious. The other thing is just to be mindful that somebody is always watching you, whether it's to critique you, maybe it's because they're interested in working with you or just interested in you as a person. And even in social media, I don't think we always consider that. Like, get a close friends group, send a group chat to the stuff that you just cannot do without, but you know, like, I don't want nobody to see this. Like, especially now, I was very conscious about today, like, this shit could show up 5 years from now and I be to say something and somebody be like, she hates God. Like, I don't want that. But I thought that wrecked my brain for 2 days.
My God.
Somebody gonna be then pulled it up. Kevin Hart, like, he didn't say something that was okay for the culture then, but you looking at it now, like, geez, you can't say
things
nothing.
Can age horribly with social media.
Shit, with social media, shit age like bananas.
Boy.
You ain't lying.
Real shit. What you got, Marcus?
I would say just, allow yourself to grow. I know for myself, a lot of times when I'm trying to do something new to jumpstart, I'm in my head like, you don't read. You don't like books, nigga. You ain't never finished the book. You feel me? You won't even allow yourself to grow because you're so in your own head. So I would say allow yourself to be vulnerable to something new. I'm trying to learn how to play guitar. I suck right now. I'm not used to sucking at instruments, but I'm like, that's the reason why I can't get good is because I'm in my head. Surrender yourself to whatever new that it is that you're trying to follow and allow to change you and to grow you. You know what I mean? Just don't be afraid. And a lot of times you can't tell your friends new ventures until you're comfortable within that venture within yourself and just say, okay, cool, now I'll open it up and show somebody. Man, I got one of my friends, like, he a drummer. Y'all know Lynn, like, he posted a close friends. I'm telling his business, but I don't care. He playing bass where it was like, how you playing bass like that? I never seen a clip of him playing bass ever until he was good at it. Because he's so good at drums that he can't post a subpar bass pick. Or V. You feel me? So, but he has allowed himself to grow. He was patient with himself enough to say, all right, nobody needs to see this until I feel confident playing the bass. Allow yourself to grow. If you do that, I feel like, you know what I mean? you can hit some milestones that you'll be surprised at in yourself.
For sure. Like something that somebody told me was your thoughts are your reality. So like a lot of times, like we looking at what's in front of us, and a lot of times we do get in our own heads, but sometimes like being in your head allow you to be creative. Like being in your head, something told you to pick up the guitar. You know what I mean? Fact. So like make that a reality. Like make like, okay, like you know, like I know what it took to get good at the piano. Like same shit. You know what I mean?
Formula, fact.
Same formula. Like somebody told me, like your thoughts are your reality, and live that. Live through that. Like live through like your imagination. Like one thing, like they talk about Michael Jackson, how weird he was. He was weird, but like something that he always said, it was like, yo, like
say it in his voice.
Please.
Not at all.
Begging you.
Not at all. Not at all. But you get the point. You get the point.
You gotta cut out about 3 That nigga, he needs so many compressors on his.
Can you hear me? Because it's as loud as I go. Turn it up.
Yes. But I heard he didn't even talk like that.
Can you imagine him? With
I heard his actual voice was deep as hell. No. But that's a whole nother thing, yo. Let's get into the
Gary voice.
It's Big Mike.
Real shit, yo. Let's get into the Get In Tune mention. This is my favorite part. We get to shamelessly plug movements, music, artists, entrepreneurs, whatever. So what's your mention? What you got for this week?
I'd like to thank myself for myself. Matthias said to do one, but I'm gonna do two, so I'm just doing really quick. I own a small catering company called Greedy Girl Chronicles. So when we're taping this,
real quick, I don't want to cut you off. I want to cut it, but Myia macaroni,
and that's what I was saying.
That macaroni.
Talking about wait, but that is Greedy Girl Chronicles. So every 2 weeks, I do something called Sundays Are for Comfort Food, and it is just a bit of comfort food, something to bring us joy in the midst of everything that's going on. Like food is what makes me happy.
Yeah,
more than not more than.
It's up there.
Don't strike me down. But I get joy. Yeah, but I love sharing that with other people. So every other Sunday, August 30th, I think this Sunday that's coming up, will actually be the second time doing it. Like I'll do some form of comfort food in the jar for pickups, and then the second one is Robotic Minds. It's the shirt that I'm wearing. I actually run operations for this company. I got like 50 jobs.
Yeah,
it's down to about 2 or 3.
Hey, yeah, shout out to the nigga Kendall.
Do. Hey, Kendall, boss man. But those are my 2 Get In Tunes.
What you got, Marcus?
Real quickly before, because I'm gonna plug myself, which I never do. But I'm gonna do it. Before I do that, I'm wearing Fashion Geek, which is my favorite company from Chicago. Been rocking with them a long time. As just a consumer, but shout out to Al and Zoe.
Yeah. You got a sponsorship
Don
deal.
C, Chicago, Piston Shorts, Mitchell and Ness, Don C. Dirt Label, Detroit. I love the Dirt Label. They make super cool theme shirts. Please follow them. I'm going to probably rock this. I'm going to get another couple 100 of these. You know me, I love Martin.
Of the same shirt.
You feel me? Every season until 3. You feel me? And I still support 4 and 5, but not much as 1, 2, and 3. Real Martin fan. All right, and then myself, Kincy the artist. You know, a lot of people know me as a musician who tours and like kind of, you know, I've been establishing myself in that, but I am moving on. Not leaving touring, but you know, obviously we're not doing anything right now. So I have been able and afforded the time to really dive into my artistry as an artist. And I'm super excited about all the stuff I got coming out. Right now, currently, I released a tape 2.5 weeks ago, Coverage by Kincy. That's available on SoundCloud.
Fire.
Thank you, guys. That's available on SoundCloud and Audio Mac. So go get that. That's a free download. Those are cover songs, so they're not my songs. And then I have my original record that I released in 2017, 20s, which was just like, man, my first project, just dipping my toe into the pool and just understanding where I am as an artist and what I sound like without backing anybody. Like, and I think that's so important, is knowing yourself, is going back to like, you know, really being able to get into your things.
Baby.
Oh my God. I'm telling you. Listen, it's not an easy transition at all. Listen, I got a show this Thursday night at Blue 26, and it's going to really, it's streaming online on YouTube. Trying to get it on my IG. I'm figuring all of that out, the tech things. This independent life is not for the weak at heart. So,
you don't want to be on the Teddy rally.
Dog, and I love Teddy, but I feel me, I ain't got nobody to dance behind me. You feel me? The music got to be sounding right, all right? Come on, somebody.
Me and Matthias to dance would be like, we only content at the Peacock.
Facts. So, that's it, man. Like, and then obviously all the independent artists in Chicago I support. You feel me? I'm not gonna get the name of names, but you know, I really support anybody independent who's really getting to it, because it's an uphill climb and battle and a journey. So you know what I mean. If you're doing it and you're halfway successful, I appreciate you. And if your whole heart is in it, then I really admire you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, so my get into mention of the week, and it's only right. I was kicking it with my brother. What was that? Saturday.
Come on here, Chef Danny.
Chef Danny, but I wasn't shouting him out.
Okay, sorry. Look at me. Can we edit that? Guys, please.
That is my nigga. Hold on.
That's my nigga too.
That's my nigga. But hey, I was hey, shout out. It's all love. I love you, bro. But I was gonna
No, this is an edit. Don't worry. I've already talked to the director.
Now we gotta leave this shit.
Kincy. Let's go see how Miles moving. It's gonna be his audio. Like, yeah, Mr. Ralph. You want to thank Mr. Ralph? Movies.
Yeah,
I would like to plug my friend.
Hey, no, but I gotta give a shout out to my man Matt Jones Music.
Go crazy.
Yo, Matt Jones.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
They cousins.
Yeah, they cousins. They cousins. Okay. So it's not bad. And I was kicking it with bro, man. He's that dude is one of the dopest musicians.
Changed his own life, bro. Yeah, right in front of our eyes.
Like, he's one of the dopest guys, musicians from Chicago, the whole church scene. And I'm just watching him elevate himself to the next level. Like, yo, he's super dope. So
can I just say one quick thing? I remember Matt was probably like 19 and he was saying he wanted to do soundtracks. And I just thought, like, oh, that's so sweet. Like, I don't know how that's going to happen because he was a church musician. But it was like,
you know how it
it's going to play out some type of way.
He immersed himself in it, bro. That Matt, like, that's like my little brother. So I'm so glad. That was perfect. Like, you know, Matt is crazy, bro. I know we wrapping up. Listen, I know the eye. Listen,
bro, the church when they had a little 2-minute card, like,
I got the peripheral. But I'm going to go back to what Myia said. Like, you know, Matt's mentor is another one of my mentors, Eric Thomas, who's a pastor now, but he used to be a keyboard player. And that's how I met Matt, through Eric. And just to see, to go from how you were saying, church, you know, playing for choirs or doing churchy things, to this man, Matt, is the #1 black string.
Yeah,
and he don't even play strings. It was just he knew, like, this is what I love, is what I want to do.
Ain't nobody fucking with bro.
I mean, he's on every album that the culture listens to. That's really black music. All your PJ Mortons, all your
I don't even check the credits. I just be knowing, like, that's Matt.
You know his sound. You know his sound.
And if you ever heard him play organ, you would know his string arrangements. You feel me?
That's a whole nother.
Hennessy sitting in, ain't it?
All right, yo, so that's it, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. You want to sing us out, Myia?
Boy, no.
Boy, bye. She told you, boy, bye.
You is not about to
You want to sing us out.
Hey, that's a wrap. We out.